Hello, everybody. You're all very welcome to Wednesday's call inside the Facebook group Map Your Future ABA, the place where we go from A to B and then decide we're going to go for a bigger and brighter A. This call will also be on my YouTube channel, Map Your Future 25. If you're watching on YouTube, do hit the subscribe button so you do. You gotta love live. So you never miss any of the upcoming episodes. Okay, back to today, folks. You are all very welcome to today's call, and let me wish each and every one of you a very, very happy new year. I hope you have your built your dreams and are planning on working on them for the year ahead, and that each and every one of them happen for you this year. So, being the first day of the new year, today I'm going to talk about the downside of resolutions and goal setting, and of course, then the upside too. You can't have one without the other. You can't have a hot without a cold, an in without an out, up, down, left, right, good, bad. You get the gist. Remember in life, there is always more ways to look at something. And when you change how you look at something, what you look at changes. I believe it was Dr. Wayne Dyer who said that, or a variation of it. Okay, so while resolutions and goal setting can be highly motivating and rewarding, there are quite a few potential downsides to it. And it makes sense to have a consideration around them. Now, I put these down in no particular order, okay? So none are more important than each other. They can all have an impact on us. Setting ridiculously ambitious goals can lead to frustration and disappointment. If a goal is way too difficult or unattainable, it can feel like a failure, which can demotivate a person instead of encouraging progress. Now, I remember Brian Tracy, a mentor of mine, saying there is no such thing as an unrealistic goal, only unrealistic timeframes. Sometimes we expect we're going to get a hell of a lot more done in a shorter period of time. Now, I do set big, ambitious goals myself, and I don't always hit the deadline. If a deadline passes, I simply set a new deadline, and I do my best not to get bent out of shape over it. Some goals will take years. Some can be done in a year, some can be done in months, and others can be done in weeks and days. Setting resolutions and goals can be a cause of pressure and stress on us as well. Constantly striving to meet goals or resolutions can lead to unnecessary stress. That pressure to achieve within the set time frame can cause an anxiety, particularly if the goals are long term or require significant lifestyle changes. Now, significant lifestyle changes isn't a bad thing, especially if your lifestyle is killing you. Now, again, there is no such thing as an unrealistic goal, only an unrealistic time frame. Be kind to yourself. Make sure you give yourself enough time to adjust, to adapt, and to change. Now, we should also consider, though, at the same time, whether the stress we're feeling, are we stressed out because of a deadline, or are we stressed out because we know we're not doing the work and we keep on putting it off? Putting stuff off can create stress for us. Um, Life is unpredictable at best, right? And sometimes we continue to try to force ourselves to follow a plan that we can't really follow. And that ends up creating a sense of disconnection and frustration. We need to be aware of the current challenges that we're facing and be able to give ourselves a break, to relax and to adapt to a situation so that we can get back on track. For example, I had the flu before Christmas, and for a day or so, I got really annoyed with myself because I couldn't do the things that I wanted to do. Now, it was out of my control. I had to accept the situation. And when I was able to accept the situation, it didn't change the fact that I had a flu. It didn't change that I couldn't get things done, but I felt better about it. And when the flu finally lifted, I got back on track. Now, another thing that can really impact us negatively is when we overly focus on the end result. So we want it so badly, but this can actually stop us working with the process. So often we try to force ourselves and force the outcome. And when we over focus on the outcomes that are happening right now, the outcomes that haven't had a chance to come into fruition the way we want them to, we can undo a lot of the progress that we make by getting really angry and frustrated, and we may even lash out. And I can raise my hand, I've definitely done that as well. So, yes, we need to be mindful of where we're going, but not get so bent out of shape over it all the time. Instead, we keep working with the process developing patience, which I know is not easy, but it is vital with any big goal or undertaking. You're going to have to develop patience. Keep taking actions, learn from whatever results we experience, adapt, think, act, do something different, adapt, learn more, adapt, and change. Learning to act, to take bold actions, and to be not too tied to the outcome on our timeframes is an important thing to learn. Things will happen, but we never know how long they're going to take to happen. That's something that we can't control. Now, we can control how we think about it, and that leads to how we feel and how we behave. It's important to enjoy the journey, to enjoy the experiences along the way. Now, if somebody falls short of their resolutions, which we can all do, and I know that I definitely have in the past, or goals, they may become really self-critical. Now, this can lead to a lot of negative self-talk or a sense of inadequacy even, which can hinder and really does hinder our personal growth instead of fostering it. With so much time spent on social media, watching TV, listening to the radio, people often compare their own progress to the picture perfect, orchestrated successes of others. And this can lead to feelings of inadequacy or self doubt, especially if what it appears to be that everybody else seems to be achieving their goals more easily. Now, remember, you are really only seeing one aspect of someone's life. They may be perfect in this area, but everything else is falling apart. But it's also an aspect that has probably been practiced, rehearsed, and presented to you in the best possible light. I always suggest to only compare yourself to you. Compare you to where you were, where you are now. And more often than not, you're going to notice progress. Now, where you notice a decline, don't beat yourself up about it. Decide to do something about it. Theodore Roosevelt said it best. He said, comparison is the thief of joy. Now, for some people, goal setting can trigger perfectionist tendencies where they feel that anything less than total success is a failure. This mindset prevents them from celebrating the small wins or making some improvement. This is all or nothing thinking, and it's a psychological issue. And this all or nothing thinking stops us moving forward. It's never all or nothing. There's always ways to move forward. So let's look, and that was quite a few of the downsides of resolution. But of course, there's always an opposite. There's always a polarity. Let's look to the upside to resolutions and goal setting. There are many benefits that people can improve their lives with, stay focused, and achieve personal growth. Okay? Committing to resolutions or setting specific goals provides clarity about what you want to achieve in your life. When you have a clear vision of what you're working towards, you know what direction you're heading in. It helps you to stay focused and to manage distractions. There's always going to be distractions in life, but we can learn how to manage them a hell of a lot more effectively. The sense of excuse me, a little frog in my throat there. The sense of direction helps reduce confusion, and it can help us with procrastination. We all can put stuff off. Resolution and goals can provide a source of motivation. The process of setting a goal provides a clear why behind your actions, like why you're doing something. When you're working towards a goal, that why gets a bit more powerful. And as you work towards achieving it, the momentum builds, making it easier to stay committed and to overcome the inevitable challenges that are going to come your way. Writing down or sharing your goals with others creates a level of accountability. Knowing that someone else is aware of your goals or that you're tracking your progress can help you stay committed to your intentions. Now, this accountability can be a powerful motivator, but I would raise a warning flag as well. I would encourage this practice, but only with somebody that you really, really trust implicitly and you know 100% has your back and will support you. So often, those that we think will support us actually try to talk us out of what we want to do. Now, it's not out of malice they're doing this. It's because they are worried about us and they're trying to keep us safe. These are not the people that you want to be sharing your goals with because they will talk you out of it. Okay? All right, let's move it on. Achieving goals, no matter how big or small, provides a sense of satisfaction and accomplishment. And that feeling of progress, it boosts the self-esteem, and it can inspire further action and improvements in other areas of your life. In my own case, stopping smoking a couple of years back has been a major catalyst in me improving my overall health. And I'm still on that journey, and I'm going to be continuing on it. But changing that one thing has had a massive impact in my life. Having specific goals helps you to make decisions quicker and manage yourself more effectively. You can't manage time. Time can't be managed, but you can manage your activities. You prioritize the tasks that directly contribute towards your goal, which can lead you to be better organized and helps you to waste less times on irrelevant activities and stuff that's probably harmful to you. Setting and working towards goals encourages personal development, whether it's learning a new skill, overcoming obstacles, or building resilience. Goal setting fosters growth and self-improvement, which is never a bad thing when we grow and improve ourselves. Resolutions and goals often come with challenges, and they have to, and setbacks. Working through these difficulties builds mental toughness and teaches you how to cope with failure. Anybody that has ever achieved anything has failed loads of times along the way. Failure isn't fateful, it won't kill you. All failure does is it's an awareness. It lets you know what isn't working. Choose to adapt and go again. Keep going, and you're going to find the ways that will work. Each challenge you overcome strengthens your resilience, making you better prepared for future obstacles and greater success. Setting goals gives you and your life a deeper sense of meaning. When you work towards something that you care about, it provides purpose, which can be especially beneficial when we're navigating life's inevitable ups and downs. Goals and resolutions help you break down long-term aspirations into smaller bite-sized chunks into achievable steps. This approach enables incremental progress, which leads to long-term success. By consistently working towards your goals, you create a foundation for achieving larger, more ambitious projects, and it promotes the development of positive habits. Armed with the upsides and the downsides of goals and resolutions, you can decide if you're going to decide what you want and commit to making it happen. My belief is that there is a burning desire deep within all of us, something that you really want to be, something that you really want to do, something you really want to have in your life, something that is bigger than anything you've ever done. But the sad reality is so many never entertain such ideas like this because of all the times where they have tried and they didn't succeed. They resign themselves that it's just not for them. In life, there is always an upside and a downside. You choose which side you're going to focus on. Society will have us all believe that dreams and big goals are only for others, the teeny tiny, small, lucky few, and not for us. This is not true. Now, it will be true when that kind of thinking is never challenged. Are you willing to challenge it? When you're really willing to really think about what you really want in your life, and you're willing to be a bit uncomfortable, because to grow, we're going to have to be a bit uncomfortable. Then you can achieve way more than you may think that you can right now. If you want to challenge it, pay attention to the exercise I'm going to share with you right now. Take out a piece of paper and a pen and create some ideas of what you want in your life. Start with a question. Okay? And I would encourage you to write this down. If I could be, do, or have anything in my life, and there were no barriers to my success, what would I choose to be? What would I choose to do? Or what would I choose to have in my life? If I could be, do, or have anything in my life, and there were no barriers to my success, what would I choose to be? What would I choose to do? Or what would I choose to have in my life? What would I choose to work towards? What direction would I take? And then you just let all the ideas flow from you, all the things that you've ever wanted, and you write and you write and you write it all down, and you use as many pages as you need to. You keep writing until you exhaust the possibilities that come up for you. Now, when you've done that, you may want to take a little bit of a break, especially if you've never done anything like this. From all the research and study I've done on this subject, a staggering 83% of people never set goals. Now, don't worry if it's your first time or if you are doing it right. The only way to do this wrong is to not do it. Every step you take is a step in the right direction. So be kind to yourself and be careful. Don't let yourself talk yourself out of this. Okay? So next, you review what you wrote. You imagine for a few moments what your life would be like if each of those items that you wrote actually happened. Really imagine it. Feel how good it would feel if you achieved what you wanted to. Next, grade these items you wrote down. How did you feel when you imagined them as reality? The better you felt about them, the higher you graded. So you mark everything from a 1 to 10. 1 is you could pretty much take it or leave it. And 10 kind of really excited you. You felt great considering the possibility of it. Okay? So you go through your list and you grade them. You whittle them down to 1 or 2 things that you feel most strongly about. Now, you may need to whittle down a couple of times because chances are you surprised yourself about all the things that you want, and that's a good thing. But you do need to whittle things down. Let me share what a mentor shared with me. A mentor of mine, Rich. He said, anything is possible, Anthony, but everything is not. Only work on 1 or 2 things at a time. The 1 or 2 that made you feel the best when you imagined them as done. When you've that done, put in some time and you describe those things in as much detail as possible. Be as descriptive as you can. That is the start of goal achievement. Gaining clarity on what you want. That is step 1, which is what we've just done. If you followed what I shared with you, and I would encourage you to watch this a few times. Step 2 is we need to make a committed decision. Decide you're going to do the work necessary to be, do, or have what you want. With your decision made, step 3 is where you choose a time every day where you're going to let yourself relax. And you're going to let yourself imagine you have completed everything that you want. You let yourself feel how would you feel now that what you want is happening in the present moment. How proud you are of yourself, the hugs you get from loved ones, or the congratulations, or whatever it is for you, the feeling is important. You see, by doing this every day, you are selling the idea to yourself. You are reprogramming yourself. You see, at first you won't believe this is possible. But when you do this over and over, you start to think, okay, maybe it could be possible. You keep doing it again and again. You start to think, okay, it is possible. You keep doing it and you start to think, this is possible for me too. Now, when you think it's possible for you too, you start to believe in it. You ask yourself, how can I make this happen? And when you do that, ideas make it happen. Start flowing to you. Now, when those ideas start to come to you and you take action on them, you change your whole life 1 action step at a time. And you know that you're making it happen. You see, the thoughts produce the feelings create the action creates the reaction, and the reactions create the circumstances, the conditions, the environments, also known as your results. The thoughts you repeatedly think, you become. We become what we think about. Repetition of what you want is so important for you to have the life that you want. I would encourage you to watch this a number of times. Watch it over and over and over. Take out some paper. Ask yourself if anything was possible and if you had all the resources you would ever need, and what would you love to be, do, and have in your life? List it all out, whittle it down to the 1 or 2 things. Remember, anything is possible, everything is not. Put some time into it daily. It doesn't have to be a lot of time, but you do need to put some time in it to sell the idea to yourself. Then ask yourself, what can I do today to move me in the direction of this goal? And you take action on the answers. When you do that, and you do that for the year ahead, this time next year, you're going to need a telescope to see how far you have come. Now, if you have any questions about today's call or any of the content that I share in Map Your Future ABA or that I share in Map Your Future 25, you can email me at abeale@anthonybeale.ie. That's ABEALE at ANTHONYBEALE.ie. Or if you want to know more about how you can work with me directly, book in for a discovery call. I will pop a link for the discovery call in the comments below. The discovery call is all about you discussing what you're currently doing, what your goals are, the improvements that you want to make, and what needs to change to make that happen. Because something needs to change to make your goals happen. Because if you didn't need to change, your goals would have already happened. My number one job is to help speed people up on their journeys any way I can. I also sometimes need a bit of help. If today's call resonated with you and you feel it could help somebody you know, invite them to watch it. Thank you all for being a part of the Map Your Future community. I hope you all have a fantastic week, and I will see you next week. God bless you all. And here's to a spectacular 2025 for everybody. God bless you all. Bye bye.